Alrighty, welcome to station number 3, buoyancy and salinity. So the purpose of this station is to investigate how salinity affects buoyancy of objects in the water. So we want to see how the amount of salt that a water may or may not have influences whether or not objects are going to be able to sink or float in that water. So I have my beaker of salt water, my beaker of fresh water, and I'm going to be using a bead, just kind of like one of the beads that you might have used in like a craft store or something like that. And I'm going to use tweezers to be able to transfer the bead and move it around from one beaker to the next. So as I put the bead into the water, what you want to think to yourself is, will the salinity influence whether or not this object, or in this case this bead, is going to sink or float? So I'm going to place it first into the fresh water. And before I let go, just think to yourself, do you think this bead is going to sink or float? So as I let go of it, we can see that it did not come up. So here I can see that this bead was not able to float in the fresh water. So now I'm going to take the bead out of the fresh water, shake it off a little bit, and now I'm going to place it into the salt water. So same thing. Before I let it go, just think to yourself, do you think the bead is going to be able to sink or float in the salt water? So I'm going to let go, and you can see that this popped right back up. Even if I push it back down, it pops up. So same bead, two different waters. So I want you to think, how is it that that salinity of the water, in this case high salinity versus low salinity, how did the salinity impact the buoyancy of the water?